New to social casinos? You're in for a treat. Most online casinos offer bonus cash or coins just for signing up. That's your own little participation trophy. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of thoughts.
18.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right. Welcome to In Game Live. I am not Scott Wetzel. I am Dave Sharapan. I am here waiting for Scott Wetzel to join us on In Game Live Game Day. It's Tuesday of tournament week. That means we're back to regular sports. We got NBA. We got NHL. We got some baseball to preview because opening day is Thursday, and I can never get enough baseball. The show became a Mets show last summer. We're not going to mention the Mets tonight. We're going to try to make sure that we keep you on point with everything going on in the world of sports. What does Wetzel say? A terrific Tuesday and a betting extravaganza all over the board. Whatever he says, we got that. Tonight's NBA slate. And, listen, everybody's talking about the one game. It's the Golden State Warriors and the Miami Heat. But there's other betting opportunities on the board. There always is. San Antonio at Detroit tonight. I think if you're a bettor, you might like that game. The other one here is the Knicks are hosting the Mavericks. And, boy, oh, boy, the Magic, they're playing the Hornets. Yeah, I don't even know what to do with that game. Hornets leading that one, or trailing in that one, 54-48, 2.5 minutes left in the second quarter. But as far as team trends, everyone's talking about the Warriors and the Heat. That's one of those ones that you got to look at. I mean, Golden State closed this game minus 4.5, 16-4 since acquiring Jimmy Butler. And, I mean, look at the Heat, 1-10 in their last 11 games. Seems pretty obvious that you take Golden State, but don't be surprised to see Miami at least keep it close for a quarter, 2 quarters. I mean, right now, they're trailing, or actually the Heat are leading 26-22, 30 seconds left in the first quarter. So everybody has this as the Jimmy Butler revenge game. He's going to come back and just take over the world. Okay. I mean, look at his numbers, look at his props. Obviously the book knows all of this as well. I mean, he's averaging 17.3 points a game. With all those things combined, the PRA comes to about 28.5, 29.5, somewhere in that neighborhood. A lot of people I've heard all day on the over. We'll wait and see what he does so far. I haven't looked to see. Let me just double check it right now. While we have it, 7 minutes played in the first quarter, he's got 2 points, 1 rebound, and no assists. little bit of a slow start for Jimmy Butler. So we'll keep an eye on that. Watch his, he gets a little bit closer to getting that number. But that's an automatic fade. For a book guy like me, that's just sit there, take the bets, and see what happens. There's a full slate of hockey tonight. And, I'm wearing the Montreal stuff, not because, the Montreal stuff always wins, no matter what. But the Canadiens are getting ready to drop the puck against the St. Louis Blues. There's the early slate of games. The Flyers and the Maple Leafs. The Senators are at Buffalo, which is a really big game for the Senators, maybe not so much for the Sabres. My Penguins, listen, the season's been over. They played their way back into thinking that it wasn't over. Well, it's over tonight in Tampa. They're down 4-0 after one. The in-game number for that, let me hit refresh, is 7.5, the total. So you need 4 more goals in 2 periods between the two teams. I think that's a play. I don't usually do that early in the first segment, but yeah, you probably got to play Tampa and Pittsburgh over after that first period. Nashville at Carolina. Nashville was a big dog today. They're leading 2-0. The second period just started. Game's getting ready to drop the puck right now. Vegas Golden Knights against the Minnesota Wild. We got that game where the Knights 7-1 in their last 8 versus Minnesota. 9-2 to the under for the Wild is their trend in the last 11 home games. Total in that game is 5.5. I do like the under. If Wetzel was here, he'd say winners bet on streaks, losers bet against streaks. Let's double make sure. Yes, the Knights are on a 3-game winning streak, and the Wild lost last night. So probably a play there on the Knights, maybe in regulation. It's a little steep at minus 215. We'll go from there. Montreal, that's why I'm wearing the Expo stuff. I didn't have the Canadian stuff handy, but Montreal is a dog tonight against the St. Louis Blues. Now, both these teams are playing for a playoff spot, and I don't think if you'd have said that before the season that anybody would have really thought that. But Montreal is a nice plus price tonight, like around, there it is, plus 132, 134, somewhere in that neighborhood. They've lost 2 in a row, and the Blues have won 6 in a row. So this would be where, if Scott was here, he'd probably say, again, I'm betting on St. Louis. They have won 6 straight. Montreal scored 3+ goals in 12 of their last 14 games. The game's going over. Let's see, what was that total in that game? 5.5. So I think the game goes over, but I like Montreal. I think Montreal is going to win tonight on the road. So that's where we would differ. The other game getting ready to start right now, if they haven't dropped the puck already, is another game between 2 teams that really are cup contenders. One before the season, Winnipeg, thought, yes, that's possible. The other one, Washington, playing way above expectations. Tonight, you get an almost pick-em game in Winnipeg with a total of 5.5. This is another absolute playoff game. I like plus money. I'm going to take a shot with the Capitals there. We'll keep an eye on it. Goal horn, boys, if Ovechkin scores, just keep that one in the back of your back pocket. So we have guests lined up tonight on the show. We'll have George Kurtz on later, Cam Stewart on later, and I forget who we have in the first hour here. Dubsy, that's right. Dubsy on leg day will join us. Although, yeah, he's usually Wednesday, so a little early for Dubsy, but we always love Dubsy's visits. So we'll make sure that Wetzel's back in. Probably try to bring him in after the break, unless the boys tell me that he's ready. If Wetzel's ready, let's bring in Scott Wetzel tonight. Wetzel, I've been driving the bus here without you. You good?
We're good. We're good. I see some terms on those drives, but we're basically going forward. That's good. Yeah, how about that?
We're driving.
Yes,
That's
we
good.
got finals in golf, by the way, too. I didn't hear you mention that. We got a giant hole in New York. Big news. Your Pittsburgh Steelers are behind the 8 ball now here, by the way, Dave. Patriots digging in. Nice little signing, Stephon Diggs. How about that? And we got the return of Jimmy B. Will the Butler do it in Miami?
Yeah.
So, and we had, boy, you talk about bad beats last night. We'll get into all that stuff, craziness. We got Dubsy, we got Kurtz, we got the Cam Stewart coming up, and we got our 5 trends here, Dave. So let us hop right to it because some of these games are starting this hour. So With that said, top 5 trends for tonight. Minnesota Wild, 8-1 under their last 9 games. You got to play under 5.5, maybe 6 if you're getting lucky somewhere along the line against Minnesota. Colorado's won 9 straight home games. They're at home tonight hosting the Detroit Red Wings. There's a number of trends that all point to Colorado. Lay the 3 and change. I'm going to take them in regulation. We got the Kings 8-1 their last 9, 25-7 at home tonight. They're hosting the Rangers. Grab LA -165. Sacramento strong over team. OKC a strong over team. Play the over 233.5 OKC Sac. And then final one, we got the Memphis Grizzlies. We played this before, and it keeps on hitting. They are now 2-15-1 against the spread their last 18 games. They're 10.5-point road favorites at Utah with no Ja Morant. Grizz, best play on the board, Utah, believe it or not. We'll discuss when we come back.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 1 of our 2-hour extravaganza just getting underway. And I failed to mention we got a little NIT action, Dave. I did look it up. It took me a little while. Little pop quiz. It's not as crazy as I thought, but in 31 non-NCAA games, guess how many have gone over out of 31?
I'll say 25.
Pretty close. 24. 24, 8-1, depending on what line you got.
Yeah.
But so I know it had to be more than 2 or 3, but it 24, 8-1. What do you make of
Yeah.
that?
Well, the number's probably not great, but also it's the changing dynamic of college basketball. I think you always like to say it in the games that I mean, not that the games don't mean anything, but how much defense are they playing? How much defense are they playing in the NIT and the CBI and different things like that? So, yeah, I mean, our guy Lauren's watching the show right now. He said to say hello and what's up, and he said North Texas is his play today. He's going to play that one. And is that the game? Do you like that one over, Mr. Wetzel? Is that one? Does that make the list? Oklahoma State.
You know, I'm playing them all, but I will say at least one of the North Texas games, I think it was yesterday, went under. So they usually score like 50 points a game. They're like just
right.
They're next to nothing here.
Okay,
and it's a big number too, 137.5. It's down from 138.5 it was. But that said, I'm playing all the overs. Now, of course, I'm doing that, and we got Bradley Chattanooga, and that's on pace for an under. That's 38-30, early second half. North Texas figures to go under. So those are the two NIT. There's two NIT, and then there's two CBI. The CBI game, Illinois State Incarnate Word, 41-40 early second half, 147.5. That's on pace for an under two. I think that was close to 150. But that's pretty close to it. So we're not too far. You got the number there?
That closed 147.5. That one.
All right, so that's where it is right now. So that's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. What was the you got the NIT ones there? What was the NIT Bradley Chattanooga one?
Chattanooga Bradley closed 152, opened 149, so the big steam up to the over there. And North Texas currently sits at 136.5 against Oklahoma State. So,
all right. We'll see.
I got to be honest. You're the only one looking at this. I mean, seriously.
I know. I know.
I knew it was there, and I was waiting for you to come back to hopefully talk about it. But I'm not. It's not on my radar tonight. There's enough going on the ice, and we can talk about. Maybe we'll look ahead. Maybe a couple baseball futures and things in plays like there, because Thursday's coming and we're off. So we got things to talk about. But I mean, the breaking news right before we came on, I didn't even mention it in the first segment. You did mention it briefly, but take another quarterback off the list that could end up back in Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson is going to play for the New York Giants, 1-year deal. Him and Jameis Winston are the New York Giants quarterbacks going into the season. Sometimes all you need to do is just say one sentence and you don't need to say anything else. That says it all to me. That screams season wins under. I don't even know what the number is. I'd make it 5 under.
Yeah. I don't know. This is what I think happened. I think the pecking order, as we talked about, is Aaron Rodgers gets to decide where he's going to go, and then everyone else kind of falls in line. He chooses Pittsburgh. Then the Giants go and get Russell Wilson and so on down the line, right? I think it got to the point with Russell that he just said, listen, I'm not waiting, Pittsburgh. You either want me or you don't. I'm not going to wait around for some guy's going to be living in a cave for 3 months. So I'm going to take the Giants offer. And Pittsburgh said, okay, we'll go with Mr. Bergou and hope he decides to come to us. If he doesn't go to Pittsburgh, but I'm surprised. He didn't get like that much money, right? I mean, $21 million, and if the reports are true, only $10 million guaranteed. I mean, he could be cut, not even make the team, and the Giants really aren't like out in the mix that bad. So they didn't offer him at least that. I guess not. So now Pittsburgh, that's well, let's go take it from the Giants standpoint, right? What are they doing, Dave? Well, I mean, what are they? Does this preclude them from drafting a quarterback at number 3 if, let's just say, Sanders goes 2 and Cam Ward goes 1 and Jackson Dart is there? Does this mean the Giants are now not going to draft a quarterback?
I would think so. I would think that this, and again, trying to figure out what the Giants are doing. That's way above my pay grade, and I don't even know if Nostradamus could do that. I mean, remember when Johnny Carson used to put the envelope up to his head? He already knew the answer. He couldn't even do that. Kids, look it up. It's a great routine. But Russell Wilson to the Giants signals to me that, yes, we're going to, do what we're going to do this year, whatever it is, and we're going to draft someone else or another position and then draft a quarterback next year. I mean, the Arch Manning sweepstakes have already started, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's
We
what
don't even know
everybody's
if he's going to
talking
be
about.
any good, though, right?
I
mean, he
know.
wasn't in his limited time with Texas. I mean, he wasn't spectacular. He wasn't great. It's not like he had a few opportunities there when what's his face got hurt, Ewers. So, wow, are these guys going to keep their jobs? You know, if the Giants bottom out and go 4-13, right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that enough to keep Dable's job? Is that enough to keep Shane's job? I don't think so.
Yes. If
Unless,
there's a plan in place, yes, that like they all agree that, like, look, we're going to take one on the chin this year, and we're going to draft this kid or that kid next year. I don't know. You know, there's a way to do it. They're not trying to win a division, despite the fact that there hasn't been a repeat winner. In the NFC East in 21 years now. So I don't think it's the Giants. I don't think you got to worry about that. We got to worry about, these guys in the production room coming up with these guys' tweets that tweet at us during the show. If you guys are watching the show, put Sports BK Consig on one, put opposite picks on the same one. Let us know what you think of the show, please. Yeah, we got guys tweeting at us. But yeah.
In-game live game, they've got our SGP coming up next here in the grid.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go lucky. See you in Lost Pages. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of thoughts.
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Game day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number one. You know what time it is? 24 past the hour, hour number one. Little SGP, same game parlay time. All right, heading out to the basketball court. We mentioned it in our top 5 trends there. This is just too good to ignore, even though it's going to be difficult to put in. But I'm going to do it just the same. Suggest you do as well, guys. And that is Utah at home against the Memphis Grizzlies. We talked about it. Grizzlies on a 2-15-1 against the spread run, and Ja Morant will miss his fourth or fifth game, he's got an injury that he's dealing with. So it's got to be a legitimate injury if he's missing that many games. So without them, and they're still a double-digit favorite, which just goes to show how bad Utah is. I get that, but 2-15-1 against the spread. So let's grab Utah plus the 10.5 points at home. We'll take Keontae George, who, since he's been put in the starting lineup, is averaging 20 points a game. We're going to lower these numbers a little bit. We'll go modest here. Let's put him in for 15 points at minus 148. We'll go Colin Sexton, 15 points. He averages 20 at minus 295. Desmond Bain is the only one whose numbers are legitimate here. He averages 22. They're making you pay the price at over 2-1, and there's only two below his number. But Bain from Memphis, without Morant, he's going to be the main scorer, so he's going to get 20 plus. And then we'll use Walter Kessler, the big man for the Jazz, who averages over 12 rebounds a game. Could have put him in for 12, but I didn't want to get greedy. Give me only 10, averages 12, and the parlay 5 pieces pays plus 534 or so. Depending on where you do your shopping. What do you think?
All right, this is a gambler's parlay, right? I mean, because you got a game that has a team that's struggling. You took the home team, home dog. Love, that's great. You got a couple guys in there. We got to worry about how this game script's going to go. So a little worried about it, but 0-3 to start the 5-game road trip for the Grizzlies makes perfect sense. 41-31 to the over this season for the Jazz. Things are looking up. So I like the play on the side. I didn't really, be perfectly honest, look at one guy on this game to look at props with. So that's what I meant by this is a real gambler type of game. So yeah, let's go. Let's at least get it close. I think you'll be live. Speaking of close, I mean this is all part of the deal here on the show. In-game live, game day, social media. Big fan of the show. Johnny Roast Beef was worried about you in the first segment, and he said, "Did Wetzel's lady finally hit him over the head with a frying pan?" They were worried that you were out, knocked down and out. Johnny, you see him? He's right there. I mean, people want to know, Wetzel. Are you okay?
Well, listen, if she was, think about this for a moment here. If she was to hit me over the head with a frying pan, what does that mean? She's got to go into the kitchen. All right. So I'm pretty safe. All right. You know, maybe with a tire iron or something, but a frying pan, I'm pretty safe on that. I don't have to worry about any knives. They're all in the kitchen. Frying pans, pots, they're all in the kitchen. I'm pretty safe. I appreciate that.
Feel the love right there. Okay. That's we're gonna do a feel the love tweet maybe every night. Johnny, thank you for that. Hat tip to you. That was outstanding. Yeah. Well, listen, frying pans.
By the way, me and the wife aren't talking. I'll let you be real quickly because I know we got things going on. Real quickly, right? Yeah. And we were going good there for about for us a week is like that. That's really good, right?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, someone passed away, and someone committed suicide. Not anyone that she works with, but someone she knows who knows person, right? So she's got to tell her workers, someone that you know committed suicide. So she's telling these people that the person died suddenly, but she's not saying how. So she gets off the phone. I said, "Didn't you tell the people that the guy committed suicide?" And like, "No, that wasn't my place." I said, "But you're making it sound like he died suddenly, like COVID or something, car accident, sick or something, right?" Yeah. So I told her, I said, you shouldn't be put in a place to tell people because you're lying. Then we played the old, well, I didn't lie about it. I said, if you're not telling the truth, then that's lying. You semantics here. So you think that's right?
I think that sometimes you should just ask her who she likes in the Memphis Grizzlies Utah Jazz game in situations like that, and then leave the room. That's what I think you should do. You need some advice from the consig? How do you not know this?
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. This is turning out to be a crazy Tuesday evening. We got some, we got some hockey, we got some NBA, we got a little college basketball with the NIT, CBI, and we actually have some golf. I'm just curious to see if our next guest, Mr. Dubs Anderson, former caddy himself, the golfing extraordinaire, any interest? I know we've asked you this before, Dubs, but the championship round is tonight, right? Is it a best of three or something goofy like that? I gave it a try. I know Dave has as well. It just didn't do anything for me. But are you into this stuff? Because you get the finals tonight.
Look, I respect it. You know, the technology, second to none. Golf needs something like this, but I certainly think it still needs a couple of tweaks to be a success. Sure, I watched it tonight. I watched it last night. I thought, Cameron Young was very impressive, given he's yet to close it out on the PGA Tour. But it's what the golf world needs. The players are having a bit of fun. There's a bit of side action involved, and it's a bit of a raucous atmosphere. But something for me, I just cannot trust the old simulator. 4 rounds of golf. Call me old school. I love to keep it traditional for the PGA Tour. But look, from what we have seen for season 1, I think it's been a success, but they're certainly going to have to go back to the drawing board and just sort of try and work on a couple of things to really make sure it's pushing the needle the whole way through, because there are, points in time where these professional golfers, they're not stand-up comedians. They really struggle to engage the audience. I think that's probably what's missing. There's just too much time between drinks, between shots, if you will.
Well, speaking of stand-up comedians, welcome to the In-Game Live Game Day show with Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan. Dubs, you fit right in. This is perfect, all right? Usually you come in on Wednesdays, which is leg day, but you're skipping leg day because it's Tuesday. It's NBA day. You got a couple NBA plays for the boys. I can't believe it. Oh, no, I can, because it looks like there's some minuses with the teams you're picking. You like some chalk tonight, Dubs. Is that true? Show us your tips. What do you got?
I am a chalk-eating weasel, and I've been called a lot worse, boys. If we can cash a couple by throwing them together, let's get after it. And shout out to Opposite Picks' misses, copping some strays here on a Tuesday night. You love to see it. But, hey, basketball slate, Tuesday tip-off. Let's get after it. A couple of games absolutely love, and we're going for a couple of road faves, if you know what I'm saying. OKC, SGA, fantastic. Squaring off against the Kings, getting set to light the beam. I think not. Give me OKC. They're laying a big number, but I certainly think they're going to be motivated, charged up for this one. and they could blitz him off the back of SGA. What he is doing in the association this season, unbelievable scenes there. So give me Oklahoma covering a big spot here for the Kings, who have been a little spotty. They have failed to cover their last 3 straight at home there. So I think this spread, it's a high one, but I think we can get it done. And then we're going back to Cleveland. Look at this game, boys, between the Cavs and the old Portland Trailblazers. One team has won 4 of the last 5. One has lost 4. And you'd say, no, Dubs, you're telling fibs if I said it was Portland who's coming in with a bit of momentum. But that comes to a screeching halt here this evening. Give me the land. Give me Cleveland. They're turning things around. Looks like they figured it out. Last out in this spot, 6.5, 6. We've seen that number hovering around all afternoon long. Give me the Cavaliers, primed up, motivated. And I'll tell you what's funny about this one. Without Spider Mitchell, they've actually been fantastic. 6-0 straight up without Donovan Mitchell, their superstar. So maybe it's something about the boys playing with a little less pressure, facilitating, sharing the rock. We've got 5 scorers out there on the floor at any given time, and maybe it's a little harder to defend against. So give me Cleveland to cover 6.5. Chalk-eating Weasel Sharapan, and your boy has come with a massive appetite for these favorites tonight.
All right. Speaking of favorites, you got 2 over in the NHL as well tonight, don't you?
Oh, do you have to make it sound like that? Opposite pick? Come on now. All right, there's 2 games, the late slate, and we are skating here, boys. The Kings, my LA Kings going against the Rangers. New York were embarrassed, and it's going to be a battle of the shot stoppers. They were embarrassed back in December. They're going to be embarrassed again here tonight. Shesterkin is not the best goaltender we're going to see out there in the mix here this evening. So give me the Kings. They've been playing some fantastic hockey. Darcy Kemper, he has been strong between the pipes, and I think we see again coming up here tonight. So give me the Kings at home. A little chalky, -166, but again, you can use these in a little parlay, little 2-banger, a 3-banger, if you will. And one more ice play we're going to throw in here. The Flames going against the Seattle Kraken. I never liked the Kraken. I don't know what the Kraken is. I believe it's a bit of a sea monster of some type. I've got no idea here. Yes. But the Flames are playing some really good hockey. They've got the hot hand. They're sitting at the blackjack table, and they're saying, hit me 21 again, Sharapan, and they're going to get it this evening. So give me the Flames. Playing well, skating well. Matt Coronado, I like this fella. I like the look of Matty C. Been scored at a good clip here, Sharapan. So I picked him up. He's a good friend of the show, and they will be getting played.
All right, I had to put the dark glasses on because all that chalk is all bright and stuff. And I mean, we got to go outside. Forget about this golf inside, okay? You're an outside guy. You're a golf guy. H-Town, they're going to Houston, and we need plus money peaches. I've heard you say that before. Say it for the people and give them somebody to look at for this weekend, Dubs. Please.
Give me them plus money pitches for the PGA Tour this week. Boys, we've been seeing them well. We've been on an absolute streak with golf best bets for our top 20 finishing positions, but I'm going to give you an outright. We had Justin Thomas last week going off at 20-1 plus 2,000. He was so close, boys. He could feel it on Sunday afternoon. He could feel it in his plums, but he couldn't close the door. So we're going back to the well. We're taking a big name in a field which may be looking ahead a couple of weeks to the Masters. Wyndham Clark, he's got the class. There's a little concern about Wyndham Clark. Is he playing at full fitness? But I think it's a great excuse, a great distractor. The golf game is red hot. On a golf course where we don't have a lot of historical data, I'm looking for a player like Wyndham Clark, whose golf game is there in spades. This is a tough track, Memorial Park, past 70, over 7,400 yards. You need that diesel for Wyndham Clark when it's breezy, swing easy, not concerned about the injury. Love the price at 33-1. And let's see if we can keep that momentum going with our top 20 finishing plays. Finishing plays, don't be nasty, Sharapan. Jason Day, the Aussie, we're getting plus 140 for a top 20. Ooh. I think this golf course could beat them up this week. You're going to need that short game. You've got to keep it in play. Play from the short stuff. Spin the ball. Find the middle of the grooves. Jason Day, he is lurking. He wants the big ones. This is as big as they come, going against the likes of a Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, a couple of weeks out from the Masters, and we're getting a fantastic price on my Aussie, the countryman, Jason Day, plus money, Peach. I hope you're hungry, boys. Let's eat.
There you go. We got the baseball season, Dubsy, starting Thursday. So we're not going to be able to talk to you before the season begins, although it technically has, obviously, with the Dodgers and Cubs. But who's going to be raising the World Series trophy at the end of the year? Got any future plays for us?
Look, how can you go against the Dodgers? Biggest investment, I threw out the Padres, even money to make it into the playoffs. I thought they were fantastic at the back end of last season. I certainly don't think they're going to lose any steam coming into this one. And it's tough to get excited about the Dodgers. If anything, massive win total. Give me the unders. And if you're looking for a bit more excitement in the life here, boys, I've got some horse plays, some pony plays, as you know.
Cool.
Kentucky Derby, yeehaw, giddy up, boys. We've got 3 preps, and I've got a couple of plays for you. One's over in Japan, Luxor Cafe, Aussie Rachel King. She's aboard, has to finish in the top 3 to punch that ticket to the first Saturday in May. American Pharaoh Sun, Pedigree and Bunches, Luxor Cafe from Japan. We've got Florida Derby Day out at Gulfstream Park. Shout out to Ranieri. I hope he's trackside working on that tan, but Sovereignty is going to be a very tough out. Also on the Pedigree side, ticks a lot of boxes. So Sovereignty out of Gulfstream Park, Luxor Cafe over there in Japan, and Baffert's Runner Cornucopian out there at Hot Springs, Arkansas. Couple of Derby preps left, boys. Win and you're in. Get beneath the twin spires out there at Churchill.
There you go.
Give him up.
What a
Giddy up.
segment.
Yeehaw. What a segment.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, our number one. Thanks to Dubsy for joining us there as he does from time to time. Just got some disturbing news. This can't be true. I hope someone's Twitter account got hacked here. I really.
I got to put my glasses on for this. I have no idea what you're going to say right now. Go ahead.
I know. It's really just, my baseball season, which has not yet begun, is about to be thrown in the toilet if this news is true. Are you ready?
Oh, no. Yes.
According to reports out of Boston, or Florida, actually, Red Sox are going with Aroldis Chapman as their closer. Oh,
Yes.
he sucks. Are you kidding?
Whoa.
Chapman?
Whoa.
This guy hasn't been good for years. We got rid of what's his face last year, who was pretty good. Where'd he end up? I
Kenley
forget.
Jansen.
Kenley Jansen? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was good. For a role to stinking Chapman?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah. That's you're not happy with that?
No, I am not. He couldn't cut it with your Pittsburgh Pirates, for goodness sake.
Whoa.
How's he going to go to
Don't
Boston
start.
and pitch?
Don't start with this Pirate stuff.
Last place team, next to last place team.
The
If
season
he can't
hasn't
handle
even
that-
started yet. You better not. I don't want to hear this
Well,
right
based
now.
on last
Listen,
year.
we're not even
By
in
the
last
way-
place. The Cubs are 0-2. They're in last place.
True.
All
That
right.
is true.
All right. It's
By the way,
not
your
even last
over
place.
under. I was looking at over unders. You know, your over under this year is less than what you
76.
won last year, or right there. It's the same number, basically.
Yeah, 76.
I thought they were going to be a little bit better this year. No?
I mean, you see the lineup. There's going to be a lot of first five unders in the Pirate games. There's going to be a lot of times where we're wondering, when are we going to score some runs? Going to have to win a lot of games 3-2. Got a lot of problems. Right. I mean, McCutcheon's not as old as me and you, but he's older and he's hitting leadoff right now. The way they have the lineup 4 or 5 times a week, so not really going to run. Going to be a lot of station to station, and I don't know when Horowitz is coming back. I don't know who's playing first base. There's a lot of questions with the Pirates lineup, but they are going to be better because of the pitching.
Yeah, well, is there another pitcher? Not quite like Skeens, but like another really big time prospect they got coming up?
He's hurt. Yeah, he's hurt.
Oh,
he had to leave his last spring start, so they got to check his elbow before coming up north. The Pirates start in Florida, and then they go to Tampa to play, the Rays at the Yankees facility. So they'll be down in Florida for an extra week. They're gonna. I think they might skip his first start, the first week. But you get a full season of O'Neal Cruz in center field. We'll see how that goes. The middle infield looks defensively like it's going to be pretty good. Brian Hayes has to hit better. I think the Pirates are going to finish right around that number. I mean, within 2 either way. If I was forced to pick a side right now, Tuesday before, I know it's nighttime in Pittsburgh behind me, and I know a lot of my Pittsburgh brethren watch the show. I think the Pirate season wins under. But I'm not sold on many people in that division. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I would be pleasantly surprised. That's right. Yeah, like the Cardinals look like they're going to have their worst season in a long time. I'm not sold on the Cubs over. I think Milwaukee and Cincinnati are going to compete for the division the majority of the season. Now, since he's been just everyone that I talk to in the space, behind the counter, content space, loves the Reds over, which usually means that they'll have a season that they'll finish with 75. 75 or less. But their season win total's gone up. People keep betting it up. Odds makers keep moving it up. My buddies that are in the space have said that that's probably their biggest liability, season win-wise, of the whole season so far.
Yeah. It's
Not
like you got to
named
pick
Dodgers.
poison. You got to pick one. Yeah, right. Now you got to pick one. I mean, so you got like Cincinnati, to me should have been the team last year. They weren't, but this year, maybe that's it. The other disturbing news, this one's not, listen, it is what it is, but Damian Lillard apparently out with a blood clot in his calf. Saying he's out indefinitely. I've had a blood clot. He's not playing. He's done for the rest of the season. They don't allow people with blood clots. Yeah, he's done.
Okay.
They can say indefinitely, but there's just no way. So Lillard gone. That's who thought Milwaukee was going to be any good anyway. You put those two together, they start playing serious. Maybe they would have posed a challenge to Cleveland or Boston, but even though they played well last night. But Lillard, yeah. So that's it. So he's out. Interesting.
Crossed them off the list of
Them off the list, yeah.
Eastern Conference contenders. Yeah, right. Again, the path is set for Cleveland and Boston to collide in the Eastern Conference Championship. There's the Eastern Conference Finals. There's I can't see it any other way. This news doesn't help. Hope that Damian is okay and can play in the playoffs maybe, but what is there, a dozen games left, 12, 11 games left? He ain't playing. Yeah, so, well, that stinks. I really thought you were going to come with something else like there. I'm kind of relieved. I'm kind of relieved that that's
right.
what it was. I was
I'll
worried.
get
there
even
for a
more serious. How about that? I'll get even more serious about in-game live. Capitals did it again. So I had some extra time on my hand, and I found another website. Because remember I told you there was a site I was using that the front page of the site was stuff from 5 years ago, but if you hit the icons, you find all the trends of the games from today. It was very weird, right? They shut it down. They shut it down. So they must have. You suggested like sometimes these sites do that. They grab information from other sites, you know. So yeah, not that they shut it down, but it's locked. There's nothing. There's no more updates. It just says there's no games today. It's like there's been no games for a week, so they basically shut it down. But anyway, I googled some things. You know, do your research, and I found another site that's pretty good. That really has been around for a little while. So anyway, long story short. They gave me trends today for who leads the NHL in goals in the first period. Pretty cool, right? It's tough to find this stuff. It really is.
Yeah.
Washington is the number one team. 256 first period goals through the first 70 games, and they scored again today. Yeah. Play the
there you
over.
go.
1.5 Washington first period.
Follow my friend at PSU Auto. His name's Chris Auto.
Hold on.
He specializes in the first period stats.
Oh, yeah?
So if you need first period stats, he tags me every day. Does these spreadsheets. At PSU Auto. PSU Auto. Yep.
Check it out. Cool. All right, more coming up again.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in-game live game day here on the grid. 54 past the hour. Hour number 1. You know what time it is. Little Black Cloud play of the day. Yes. You know, we've had a nice run here. 15-2 heading into last night's game. And, you know, for the most part, they've been pretty solid winners. But you get a few that you get the breaks. You know, you got an over, game goes to overtime, the game goes over, that type of thing. Empty netter, laying a goal and a half. We've had that at least one time. So, you go 15-2, you need to get some breaks. And eventually, it's gambling. What's going to happen? The breaks are eventually going to go your way. You just hope to push that off as long as possible. I say that because that's what happened to us in 2 games last night. The Black Cloud play, 100 games, you're laying 2.5, maybe 3, and your team wins. How many times are you not going to cover? 3, 4, maybe? I don't even think it's 5%. Well, that 3-4% was last night, Dave. Laying 2.5, the Suns win by 2. Unfreaking believable. So,
yeah, and it's crazy because we got the text when the game was over thinking that it was a winner. And then, it's like when someone comes to the counter with a ticket of 2.5 and they hand it to me and I put it through and I say, you know what, the Suns won by 2. And you're like, no, I think check it again. And I put it through the machine and it says not a winner on the display because it was a half-point loss. That's kind of what happened in our group thread last night, but that's okay. That happens.
Yeah. So disappointing to begin with, and then more disappointing when you think maybe, just maybe you won. Maybe I was wrong, then you're looking like, double loss there. So, all right, so back to the board we go. We got a rock solid play tonight. We really do. Right back to the winner's circle tonight, boys. It's going to be a little costly, but we can do it. Going to go to the ice. We're going to take on Colorado versus Detroit. We're going to go with the Avs to win in regulation. It's a little juicy, minus 195, but you're going to understand why when I give you these numbers. First off, Colorado at home, they've won 9 straight home games. Winners bet with streak, losers bet against streaks. How's Colorado playing overall? How about 10-2 their last 12 games? How's Detroit playing overall, Scott? How about 3-9 their last 12 games? Their ship is sinking. They're going down. Colorado's going up. And if you just need one more little kicker, they've met 13 times over the last 6+ years. Colorado is 12-1 against Detroit. Last 13. They're not losing to Detroit tonight, folks. Lay the almost 2-1. I'm not going to lay 3-1. I won't ask you to do that. That's unrealistic. But, minus 195. Take some of that 15-3 Black Cloud profit and just bite the bullet, go a little deeper, and go minus 195. Colorado wins easily.
I 100% totally agree with you. I think Colorado's a winner tonight. This one will be just crushing. I mean, we get this thing back on track. The Black Cloud has been good. We talked about it last night with Cam, who we'll have on later at the end of the second hour here coming up. It was 14-2 before last night. Thought it was going to be 15-2, and man, it was a tough one. Fell too, but that's okay.
How about the Devils loss? How about the Devils loss too? You talk about, we've had a lot of good fortune here, right? We gave out the Devils, or suggested the Devils, right? Gave it out, Devils had not one, Dave, but 2 separate third period leads. They led 2-1. They blew that. Then they took a 3-2 lead with 3 minutes left, and they give up a goal with 25 seconds left. Then, of course, no one wins shootouts. Everybody who bets both sides, they almost lose when it goes to a shootout. I don't think anybody wins a shootout. Even if you got a Vancouver ticket last night, somehow you lost, right? So Vancouver wins in a dopey shootout 3-2. When you had 2 separate leads in the third period, at home no less. So couple that with, laying 2.5 and winning the game but losing. It was, one of those nights. Just one of those nights.
Throwing the Islanders for me too. That was no good. We lost that one in the shootout as well. That was one I thought the Islanders were going to win. They were winning. Looked like they were won and didn't win. And it was a tough night last night. But listen, those things if you could get them out of the way in one night, all the bad beats and all that stuff, that's better. Like that happening multiple times. That's originally what brought the Black Cloud play of the night on. Because when you have a black cloud hovering over you, you lose those decisions. But we're starting new tonight. This is the new streak starting tonight. Avalanche regulation. I like it a lot.
Yeah. We got to find out what everyday parlay we're going to make in baseball as well. Talk about that on the other side.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
13.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to Game Live, Game Day on the Grid, hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Strolling along, Scott and Dave, until 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Got a full slate of NHL. Do got to find out what baseball parlay. I don't want to get behind the 8 ball too early like we did last year. We're going to find a parlay that we're going to play every single day. Like I'm thinking pro Dodgers, anti-Tigers, so, yeah, or White Sox, rather. Something along those lines. We'll do that before the end of the show. We'll get our thoughts from our next guest, Mr. George Kurtz, who no doubt has a pocket full of hockey winners he's been sitting on for us, and we'll get some baseball thoughts out of him as well. What's going on, George? How are you tonight, bud?
I'm doing well, Scotty. You mentioned parlay here. You know, my first hockey parlay of the night is the Lightning and the Maple Leafs. Okay, and they are both beating the crap out of their opponents like they stole something. Right? When you know you're going to win your parlay by 7:30, that's a really good night.
Yeah, that's good. That's you should have a big smile. 6-0 Lightning over the Penguins after 2. 6-2 Maple Leafs over the Flyers after 2. That one feels good. Boys, have the Black Cloud play of the night up if you can. Just flash it for George because he sounds like he might approve of this play. George, are you on the Avs too, like everybody else tonight? What do you think?
I mentioned my 2-team parlay, right, which is the Lightning and the Maple Leafs. I also have a 3-team parlays. Went for both tonight. Same 2 teams, Lightning, Leafs, and the Colorado Avalanche. For those who don't know, by the way, Colorado at home playing a team on the second half of back-to-back nights of the last few seasons, 24-5-1. That's pretty good. All right, it's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, so yeah, I'm on the Avalanche. I have a lot of bets on the Avalanche tonight. I'm on the Avs, on the parlay you got there. I'm on the over in the game, and I'm on the Avs team total over as well. I got McKinnon over 1.5. Yeah, I'm having a good time tonight. I mean, it's 10 games. I'm enjoying myself.
All right. Are you laying the goal? And you're not playing them straight, though, right? You have laying minus.
No, the goal line, correct.
Okay, so I'll throw in one more for you just to make you feel that much better if you want. 12-1, Colorado is last 13 games against Detroit, and they won 9 straight at home. So
yeah, they're hot. Detroit played last night, and they won last night. Good for them, but I think they get smoked tonight.
Yeah. Before we get to the games that have yet to begin, how about some of the others? Obviously, you got Toronto, Tampa Bay. Those are basically unbettable. How about Carolina down 2-1 against Nashville? Midway, early third period, 14 minutes left. You get the Canes at home. +2-1 right now against Nashville.
Yeah, we talked about this with Joe Ranieri on Game Time Decisions here. I did not bet this game at all. I did mention, though, and I guess I should have listened to my own advice here, that if I was going to bet it, it would have been the plus money with Nashville, right? You never know when they're going to show up and play a good game here, but I didn't touch it. So it would have been Nashville, but in all honesty, not a dime on the game.
That's good. Plus 200 right now. Probably worth a stab, but the Predators are just going on a power play, so wait and see what happens. You might be able to get even a bigger price if they don't score. So the Kings are another game tonight that we're looking at, and the Kings have been really, really good at home. They're playing the Rangers. I didn't even want to mention the Islanders game last night, but this one got to be a play on the Kings. No.
I already went on my little tirade about the Islanders on Sports Rage last night, so I'm not going to do it again. It was a goal. Palmieri's goal was a goal, but to be honest with you, I didn't think Anders Lee's was. So I thought it was a washout at the end anyway. I thought Lee should have been wiped. There was no goal, but Palmieri's was definitely a goal. Whatever. Islanders' third straight game, they've blown a third period lead. It's just frustrating as all hell here. Rangers, they're getting. I mean, they won their last game, right? But they're getting outshot almost 3-1 every night here. If Shesterkin doesn't play on top of his head, they're not winning. They're not playing good hockey at all for whatever reason it might be. It's a heavy price to lay with the Kings here if you want to go for it, but I'm doing it on the goal line here. All right, I'm not going to go on the money line. Don't like the price. I'll say if the Kings can win by more than one goal, maybe we need some empty net help there. First game of the West Coast trip for the Rangers, and really it might be the first game of the rest of their season. They don't start piling some wins together. They played more games than Montreal, more games than the Islanders. They don't start piling some wins together. Rangers, who are a Stanley Cup contender at the beginning of the season, are going to be out.
Yeah. You said 3-1. You're not lying about that. They won a game against Vancouver the other day. They were outshot literally 35-13 or something goofy like that. They were able to win, but just a strange year for them. It just kind of fell off the map about 25 games into the season. How about the Calgary game? Any interest in Calgary and Seattle? 4-1 Seattle series, 1-4 under. Calgary 6-1 over their last 7. If you need a little something, neither team playing particularly great as far as where the situation is. Seattle 2-6 their last 8 road games, but Calgary only 2-6 their last 6 or 8 home games.
Yeah, it's a little mixed up game, right? Listen, I lean towards Calgary. I lean towards the under as well. Calgary is usually an under team. They don't have a lot of offense here. But Seattle is that tricky little team that all of a sudden they show up a game and they score 4 goals out of nowhere here. So small play on Calgary. I'm not going to, like I said, this is not where I'm putting a big part of my money tonight. There's no props that you can play in this game. You want to go like Jared McCann anytime goal here? Because I just don't think it's going to be a lot of goals. And if I don't think it's going to be a lot of goals, my props are going to be limited here. Small play Calgary, small play on the under.
Right before the show started, we had some quote unquote, I'll use air quotes, breaking news in the NFL. Russell Wilson not coming back to Pittsburgh, but instead going to the Giants, making that quarterback room Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. So good luck, Giants backers, with that one. I think that season win total is 5, and I would bet under. But I wanted to ask you about that, as well as this Diggs guy going to the Patriots. Any thoughts on either one of those?
Yeah, thoughts on both. I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, you already know my thoughts on the Wilson thing. Listen, in all seriousness, it likely means A, the Giants don't want Sanders or Ward, right? Or B, they know Sanders and Ward are going 1-2, and they don't want to trade up for these guys. It's a strange situation. Why would you do this? Are they just incompetent? Maybe they are. Maybe just incompetent. Because why would you sign both? It makes no sense. And are you not drafting a quarterback at 3 then? I almost hope they do. Draft a quarterback. Let's just have all the fun in the world and put Shador Sanders there as well. Have Sanders, Winston, and Wilson all battling it out here. It makes no sense. This likely means the Giants are not taking a quarterback at 3. Maybe they're going to trade down and get more picks, whatever it might be. I'm not saying they won't take a quarterback in the draft. Maybe they take one in the middle rounds here, or on day 2, whatever it might be. But a strange move by the Giants here. As far as New England, I mean, if Diggs is healthy, all right, you need a wide receiver that we've been criticizing them forever for not having any talent, right? And now they get some. And, if they stay at the number 4 pick and you get Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter as well, it's been a pretty good offseason for the Patriots. I'm not saying they're gonna compete with the Buffalo Bills, but it's been a pretty good offseason for the New England Patriots so far.
We'll see if Diggs has anything left. Boy, that's got trouble written all over it, though. Him going up there with a second-year quarterback. I mean, that really is like, okay.
I thought he'd be with Dallas, Scotty.
Yeah.
You know, with his brother. That's what I expected to happen.
Right. Exactly. But we all know Dallas doesn't sign players anymore. How about the baseball season starting in 2 days? I was joking with Dave here, Sharapan. Aroldis Chapman's going to be the closer for the Red Sox. Does that change your thinking on Boston?
No, but I still think Boston a very good shot to win that division. But that whole division is a little strange here. Yankees, we know, no Heel, no Garrett Cole. Boston's beat up too, right? They have a whole bunch of injuries in their starting rotation here. Baltimore, no Grayson Rodriguez. Who can stay healthy? Maybe Toronto, which is somewhat healthy right now. Maybe they're the surprise team here. I think whichever team makes the big move during the season, and I'm going to keep looking at Sandy Alcantara. He's going to get traded. Who is one team for the American Leagues, and I am looking at Boston here because they have the prospects. Will they be the team to go out and get them?
Wow, I would say that. Sure. George Kurtz, great job as always, George. We'll do it again soon.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all. It's
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 2. Thanks again, George Kurtz. You see it here all the time here on the grid. So, quick check of the NHL board. Still got a pretty good opportunity. It's kind of weird. Plus 250 on Carolina, down only 2-1 at home against Nashville. I put it in earlier at plus 150. 9.5 minutes. You got a half the third period. Yeah, that's not, if you want value, pretty good play. I do like that. You know, it was the smart play today, Dave. It was the over St. Louis, Montreal. Didn't get a chance to mention that. That was like all the trends said over. So a couple of wise guys, they all like the over 5.5. It's 3-1 early second period. So it's up to 7.5. You had heard that too, huh? The over on that one. That one made a lot of sense.
Yep.
So
I was hoping Montreal had more of the goals, but we're down 3-1. That doesn't mean it's over as far as the side. But you're right, 7.5 plus 130 to the over. I think I'd take a shot at that.
Yeah.
Right? Although it could end up 3-3 and then the overtime, and that would be 7. So that's why under's favored. Okay. I think I might take a shot with that one. 1-1 Capitals and the Jets. Again, another playoff type game. Knights lead 2-0. Second period, 11 minutes left. The Knights are locking things up, man. They're really tightening things up. Might be getting ready for another playoff run here in Vegas. The rest of the games.
You hit that under Minnesota yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, that was a good play. I mean, they got shut out. Yeah, they got shut out. I was expecting it to be 3-1 or 3-2, but that's sometimes you really start to see those numbers. Like as we get closer to the playoffs, I don't know. I looked at the NHL futures. We looked at them today on Bostonian versus the book. I looked at them last night, trying to figure out maybe some possibilities for some maybe narrowing it down as far as teams for exactas. Did you see the NHL Stanley Cup prices? Like to win the Stanley Cup? They are so lumped in together. There is so when Matt brought it up to me, I looked and said, usually there's one team that is just odds-wise the odds-on favorite and noticeably ahead of the pack, whether it's 3-1, 4-1, and then everyone else is 7.5 to 1, 8 to 1, 9 to 1, and into the double digits. Right now, at a couple places, and boys, if you have them, you can find them. NHL Stanley Cup future odds. Pop them in whenever you can. Florida's the odds-on favorite, but not by much. And then it's like Dallas, Colorado, and another team in the West, Edmonton,
Vegas, Vegas,
right? And
Winnipeg.
then you see how close they are.
Yeah.
Like they are all lumped together, almost like the point standings are. For the bottom of the league to make the playoffs. But there's no dominant team. I mean, Wetzel, if I told you right now which two teams are going to meet in the Eastern Conference Finals in the NHL, you can't tell me. I mean, I can't decide that right now. I have no idea. It could be almost anybody.
I like Florida, but who that second team would be, that's up for grabs. And the West is completely up for grabs. You're right. You got Dallas and Florida, basically, they are the same, 550. And then from Colorado to Tampa Bay, which is 7 teams, it's separated by 300 points. Colorado's 8 to 1, Edmonton 950, Vegas 10, Carolina 10, Washington 11, Winnipeg, Tampa Bay 11 as well. I mean, it's all they don't know either. That is what they're basically telling you. Throw a dart, and hopefully, whatever favorite team you like happens to be the team that wins it all.
Yeah, you like to always say about the boys in Vegas, no, and that's one of them ones.
Right.
The boys in Vegas don't know nothing. The guys down south don't know nothing. In the Caribbean and in Central America, nobody knows nothing about that right now. It is going to be, I don't want to say a sprint to the finish because it's a marathon to the cup. That's the beauty of the hockey playoffs. I mean, we are going to have just electricity every night here on In-Game Live for the NHL playoffs. I cannot wait. You get those meaningful games. You get numerous betting opportunities in game. Chase a number down as far as the total. We start, on a game that closes 5.5, and we get down to the 4.5, and we say go under. We go to the 3.5, and we say go under. Then it gets to the 2.5, and we maybe sound the alarm to go over 2.5 to try to middle it. Listen, I can't wait. I can't wait. The games are going to get better as we get closer to the end of the season, unlike the NBA product, which I feel like the games get worse as we get closer to the NBA playoffs.
Right. And I'll say this about the hockey, too. Like, you have some teams that could score. Like, certainly Edmonton can score. Colorado certainly can score. But you're talking about a lot of teams that want to play 3-2, 2-1. Whether it's Dallas or Winnipeg or Carolina or Tampa Bay. Florida's kind of a little bit of both there. But it's a lot of – you're going to get some up. I don't remember seeing any 5s this year. Could be wrong. But do you think we'll see a 5 in the postseason versus a 5.5?
100%. I think the 5s are back. Absolutely.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think we're going there, are we, boys? Yeah, okay.
I don't know what's happening right now.
Yeah. So 5.5. Don't worry about that. Listen to us. 5.5 is that'll be the benchmark. It gets to 5. Probably not.
All right.
Jimmy B back to Jimmy Butler back in Miami for the first time tonight. You know, we kind of had the Budenholzer thing last night with Milwaukee and the Phoenix Suns. Jimmy B going back to. I wonder. I am curious. I meant to look. I forgot. I'm not sure. So, did you think the Miami Heat fan booed or cheered Jimmy Butler? I'm guessing.
I'm gonna guess booed. Just the way he left. You know, they remember the way you leave, not what you did most times. But Miami's kind of a fickle place. I don't know. Maybe they did a little Bronx cheer, like, "Hey, welcome back. Now we're gonna lay one on you." And the Heat are actually doing that. I mean, the Heat are up 78-65. Jimmy Butler has, in 23 minutes played, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. So he's 5 of 11 from the field. Hasn't made a 3 yet. What was that PRA? The PRA was in the high 30s, no? I think that's going to go under.
Probably. He was. I know his point total was 21.5. So that's good.
So that it was at 11. 21.5 plus 11 was 33. It was 33.5, somewhere in that neighborhood. PRA.
All right, interesting. Wiggins has 10. Don't forget he's playing Golden State.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in-game live. Game day here on the grid. 24 past hour number 2. Good start for our SGP as the Utah Jazz actually lead Memphis outright. 23-14, obviously early on, but we're getting 10.5, so keep your fingers crossed on that one. Our little over, Dave, non-NCAA tournament games, 1-1 so far tonight. So one game went over, one game went under, We'll see. Yeah, worse, we go 2-2, and you get a split out of it. But I'm going to play that for a couple of days and just see if that. More than likely, now the boys in Vegas are going to kind of bump those numbers up by a couple of points. But still, you mentioned Heat do lead the Warriors 83-70. Knicks by 12 over the Mavericks. I doubt. Let me double check. I should have looked at this earlier. But is Anthony Davis playing for Dallas tonight? He's not going to play in back-to-back games, right? No way. After he played last night for Dallas. I'd be shocked.
Question. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's not playing.
Yeah.
Nope. God forbid. He's either healthy but all right. How about this? I want to. I'm thinking of doing like an everyday baseball parlay. I'll put 2 in.
Okay.
Pro Dodgers and anti-White Sox. I think they're both going to be about 110 losses and wins. The average pay, I figured it out. Minus 235 or so for both.
Okay.
Gets you even money. Well, so if the Dodgers on average are minus 235 favorites, and then the team playing the I keep on saying Tigers, White Sox are going to be 235 favorites. That'll get you even money. So, so I'm thinking now we got to get something on the positive. So give me a couple of teams that you think maybe the public's not buying into. That if we get like a plus 130, 140 every night, and we parlay that with another plus 130, 140, we don't have to hit this every single night, obviously. We got to hit it like once out of every 5 days. So you got like a semi-surprise team or 2?
I think in the American League, I think you got to look at the Rangers. I think they'll be undervalued. I think they'll be undervalued a little bit early. The Tigers, unless they're playing the White Sox, would be another team to strongly consider, depending on who's pitching. Not when Scooble's pitching, but because he's going to be a favorite every single game he pitches, home or road, most likely.
Not buying into the Reds? Too many public-y?
Yeah, that one's a tough one. I don't think, not at least in the beginning. I got to see them get through the first couple weeks in the rotation. And see how that goes. I think the lineup will be pretty good. I'm trying to think of a team in the NL West that might be the Giants. The Giants, there's a little bit of buzz about the Giants being a little bit better than people think, at least on this side of the counter. So the Giants might be a team on that list that will go. We had a guy. So you want to do this every day because we had a guy who used to walk in a sports book right when I first got to Vegas, and he used to bet the Yankees. Now, this was when the Yankees and the Red Sox were battling every year for, baseball supremacy. He would bet the Yankees, the Red Sox, and either the Dodgers or who was the third team? The Braves. Every single day. That was his 3-teamer. He just put it together. He said, listen, I'm going to hit this thing at least 70 times, when they all play the same day, because they all 3 were favored to win 100 games, close to it. So, but then we had another guy he called it the Fonzie parlay. He did the Rays, the Jays, and the A's. Fonzie parlay. Rays, Jays, and A's. So we called it the Fonzie parlay. No, that was a tough one. That was not a good one. But, he had fun with it. $5 every day, the Fonzie parlay. Did you watch Happy Days? Happy Days was groundbreaking.
Yeah, yeah. Although it was on Channel 7, so you had to watch through all the fuzz. We didn't get Channel 7. We got 2, 4, and 5. And then 7, once you got to 7, 9, and 11, which were the other New York stations here, you got a little. 9 was unwatchable. Unless the Red Sox and Yankees were playing, so was Channel 11 for the most part. 7 was, but yeah, I'm not sure why.
Did you have a Fonzie leather jacket? Did you have a leather jacket like the Fonz? Come on, you had to back.
No, I do. In fact, it's downstairs. I actually still have it, believe it or not. But not because
you gotta wear it on the show tomorrow.
Tomorrow, maybe I will.
Yes.
Yeah. I do have a black leather jacket. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in the closet downstairs. Yeah, I like that. It keeps you warm too. It really did.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 18.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. I'm gonna have to start looking at some of this stuff, Dave, a little bit closer, because it happened again. The Colorado Avalanche, Detroit Red Wings, they're tied 1-1, both scoring in the first 10 minutes of the first period. Detroit, believe it or not, is number 3, tied with Washington for most goals in the first period, first 10 minutes. 38, now 39, and it hit again today. Talked about Washington scoring in the first period. That hit again today. So this new site I found has all these stats, and I'm going to check out your boy there as well. Just a maybe different little avenue to bet, versus the same, rather than, laying 3-1 on some of these plays, like some of these numbers with these hockey, to start the game is just crazy. I mean, you can't lay 3-1 in a hockey game or anything for that matter, right? So attack it a different way, look for different avenues. So, maybe we'll throw a couple of these plays out there. You'll start tomorrow. Look at that site again. And just kind of keep track and see, who's scored the most first period goals in first 10 minutes and that sort of thing. So,
yeah, we'll call it maybe something like the first shift or something. Wetzel over the boards. Something like that. We'll jump in there early.
First shift.
You better do it for the next 2.5 weeks, right? We only got 2.5 weeks left, or 3 weeks of NHL. So we could focus on that for,
we get
the rest of April. Well, yeah, but none of these things will apply. None of the first period stuff will carry over. It's a completely new season. I just put everything away unless it's the head-to-head stuff. So you can see, if they play each other 6 times during the season and you can find a pattern, it really does help the handicap in the playoffs. But the rest of the stuff, the first period trends, the different, overtime trends, the game trends, all that stuff, not buying any of it because it literally is a different game. The postseason in the NHL is the best. The Blues are leading the Canadiens 4-1. I should go put on the Cardinals stuff right now because I don't think the Montreal Canadiens are coming back. Although that game is going over. We're headed for the over. 4-1, 4 minutes left, 7.5 still the total. Under's the juice. Plus money to the over. If we get another goal here in the second, I don't want to say it's a lock, but that's looking pretty good.
Colorado just scored again. 2-1 now over Detroit. Niskushkin. He's a good player. I know he's had some issues off the field, but he's one of those guys that, just steps up in the postseason too. So he's got 2. So 2-1 Detroit, our Black Cloud play of the day. So far, so good. Nashville did beat
2-1
Carolina
Colorado.
3-1.
Wow,
What's
that's it. Over. I said, well, you said 2-1 Detroit. You meant 2-1 Carolina. I mean, 2-1 Colorado. Yeah. Vinny, if you can, just crank the horn for that one. If you could, every goal that Colorado scores, we're going to need the horn. So if you could jump it in there anytime, that's great. Thank you.
Good big one. We got a good one tomorrow, Dallas and Edmonton, and then you got Washington and Winnipeg tonight. So Washington, Winnipeg tied at 1. There's your playoff hockey, right? Final seconds of the second period. Over under 4.5. Ovechkin did not score. So far anyway. But 1-1 Winnipeg. Not playing great hockey. Good for them. But Washington 9-1 their last 10. I did like Winnipeg. I didn't think they were going to lose at home. So I played Winnipeg on this. When you get the number, it's about the same, -148. I think they find a way to beat Washington. This would be a good win for the Capitals if they can pull it off on the road.
Correct. I like the Capitals pregame. Currently, it's on lock. The Jets are going to have a power play here, and they're getting close to ending the period. So nothing's happening right now. There's no in-game number. Geez, I hate the fact that the Jets start on the power play in the third period. So, yeah, you're probably right. It might be a play on the Jets. If they get out of this period with no goal, goes to the locker room 1-1. Probably a play on the Jets. Oh, it's locked because the Jets just scored. How about that? 2-1 Jets. Just like that, Wetzel. Just like that, Scotty. You called it.
Spoke it into existence.
Spoke it right into existence. Yeah.
Hopefully you got a chance to bet it before it did. Calgary 1-0 over Seattle. And the Rangers. And you like the Rangers tonight or LA Kings? Kings are great at home. Yep. Yeah, it's hard not to like that, right? I gave that up to the boys on the podcast. They're phenomenal. I don't know why they can't play on the road, but 25-3-4 at home this year. I mean, they've only lost 3 games outright, without getting at least a point at home out of 32 games. That's amazing. They've won 6 straight at home. Rangers stink. They're 3-7 their last 10. Fighting for their playoff lives. A little desperation, but maybe Kings in regulation if you don't want to lay the big wood. That was minus 165. It's up to 178 now.
Yeah, that's the play. That's definitely the play. 1 quarter in, the Utah Jazz leading 35-29 over the Grizzlies. So that's a good start for basketball for the same game parlay.
Without John Morant, I don't know why were they big favorites without Morant. I'll double check, but all the pregame notes said he wasn't playing because he hasn't played in a little while. I mean, 10.5. Right. I know Utah stinks, but when you're playing as poorly as the Grizz are, I wouldn't be laying double digits. Jeez, they lost 3 in a row.
Get it. Yeah,
not covering.
One of those situations where sometimes the line looks so suspicious that you have to go the other way. Because a lot of times people get caught up in that, wow, the books must know. No, there's no reason other than, maybe you don't think he's going to play before, so you put it extra high and then nobody bets it. Sometimes a lot of people like to go with a public dog. And we used to say it in the book. The dog that nobody takes sometimes is the worst dog to take. Like when you have that thing out there, and you're like, why is nobody betting this? Like, is it that bad? Yeah, the team is that bad. We should have laid the favorite. And nobody's playing it, so it kind of sits. But when you get a dog where nobody takes, that's as indicative as a public dog. Sometimes worse.
Cleveland laying 6.5 at Portland tonight, and you got OKC laying 9.5 at Sacramento. So the two of the number one teams in each respective conference on the road, both laying big numbers. If I had to take a flyer on one of the two home teams, I'd probably do it with Portland.
Same.
I don't know what got into that Sacramento team, but man, they've fallen off the cliff and can't get up. It's amazing. Walloped by the Celtics the other day. So
yeah,
I'm done with them.
Yeah, that was last night. We were both on on the same game parlay. Portland's been pretty good at home. I'm surprised the number's this high. So, yeah, Portland plus the points. Dubsy did mention it, though. No Mitchell means they usually win and cover. So, I think you got to be cautious there. OKC's going to crush Sacramento. I don't know. I don't want Sacramento tonight. I thought, like you said, last night was enough. Watch them cover tonight because we're both like, yeah, I don't want to take Sacramento.
Yeah, exactly, right? And I always like doing that. If I bet them one night and they lose, I do like coming back. It's tough to do because they lost, right? So they generally didn't play well. But it's amazing how many times that team then – I like doing that in baseball, believe it or not.
Yes.
When a team's ace loses, I bet that team the next day. Yep. It's amazing.
Yep.
I don't have any stats to prove it, but I'm just saying, just following this stuff. It is amazing how many times that team will bounce back. I don't know if the other team is so giddy because they beat your ace, or motivates the team that lost. I don't know what, but it is amazing how many times that actually happens. It really is. So
Yeah, you're right. You are right.
All right, quick little break. We got Cam Stewart, no doubt, to give us some hockey stuff. We got some basketball stuff with him, no doubt. We'll update the NIT and CBI games, see if the overs are going to come through on there.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Yes, 48 hours before the start of the Major League Baseball season, the real start. 48 hours before the start of the Sweet 16 game. So a lot on our plate to discuss and get some winners for our good buddy, Mr. Cam Stewart, who takes over top of the hour along with Gabe Morency. What's going on, Cam? How are you tonight?
The thoughts of Scott Wetzel don't reflect SportsGrid or my picks tonight, but thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. There's no guarantees here. We don't do that, but I was very interested in what you said about Portland as a dog. If I'm going to take one dog, late night it is Portland. You're right about Sacramento. I love coming back to teams that let me down, and the flip-flop theory, and it works a lot. And I agree with everything you're saying, Wetzel, especially in baseball when a team, actually in hockey too, when a team gets thumped, I like to come back to them. It's just one of those pride things, but I just can't do it with Sacramento. They really let me down the other night. So if I'm looking for a home dog late, I'd probably take Portland plus 6.5, 7 against Cleveland tonight. That's something I'm looking at. Hockey action. I don't know what's going on tonight, Dave and Scott, but there's a lot of blowouts. Like the Leafs just absolutely smoked the Flyers tonight. Like, and Philly scored first in that game. We're going, what? We're getting these guys at a cheap price. They murdered them. Pittsburgh got crushed by Tampa Bay. A lot of interesting things going on right now. So let's do this. A couple plus 2.5. I like Colorado to win this game, but I'll take Detroit plus 2.5 minus 116, and I'll take Minnesota plus 2.5 plus 115 against Vegas. Dave, I am concerned about Minnesota because they didn't score their last game, and we're in the third, and they haven't got a goal yet. But if they can make it 2-1 at home and make it interesting, I'm there. Already on St. Louis. I wanted Washington to tie it up so I can come back. A lot of people's public dog in the National Hockey League tonight was Washington. I like the Jets in that game. Calgary's already up 1-0. So what can we do? Late game tonight, I can't take the Rangers either. They're cold as ice. So, but I don't want to lay 178 with the Kings, and I don't want to take the puck line. So that's parlay material. I got to find a dance partner, but I think the Kings beat the Rangers. Maybe regulation play to win in regulation instead of the minus 1.5, but they should take care of business. The Rangers, I'm telling you guys, if I have a bet for the team not to make the playoffs, it's probably going to be the New York Rangers in the East. This team is really struggling right now. I know Shesterkin's a good goalie, but there's a disconnect somewhere with that club. They don't look right. And, other teams like Ottawa, they're still grinding. Like Detroit is still kind of lingering. Like, I don't know. I just don't trust the New York Rangers. I know that's crazy to say, but if they don't make the playoffs, I guess there's going to be a lot of pissed off people, but I don't think they get there.
Any shot of taking Montreal? I wore the Expo stuff because I thought Montreal had a shot tonight, but plus 2.5 right
Blues
now,
are hot,
minus 140. I know the Blues are so hot, 6 in a row. And I was like, oh, all right, I'll keep it close tonight.
You don't want to play this team in the playoffs. Like the Blues, they're like, and they're without Parayko. Imagine that guy was back. Like that guy is one of the best defensemen in the league. The Blues have so many underrated players on their team. Like people don't even talk about Neighbors and Robert Thomas. Like I'm watching this team play. They got guys left, right, and center on their team. They're just really pesky, well coached. Binnington's playing better. Man, that is a team. Like I'm telling you, I think St. Louis can be a real headache for a lot of teams. And we've seen this movie before in the National Hockey League, guys. Columbus was that 8 seed versus a 1 when they didn't they sweep Tampa Bay? They didn't just beat them. The games were close, but that's the thing about hockey. You get a hot 10 or anybody's good, and the difference is St. Louis can actually score goals. That's a team you do not want to be playing right now.
They scored 4 goals or more in 6 straight games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Scott. They're over machines too. That's another thing about the Blues. They used to be a classic under, like a 2-1 grind them out. They're playing different style now. They're like, we have young players that can score, so you don't want to get into like a shinny game with these guys too. They'll beat you on the counter. They have a lot of really good hockey players on that team. Very underrated team. Nobody who's talking about the Blues, but in the betting world, they're a great bet, and I'm going to keep on riding these guys till the end. So, yeah, I really like the Blues, but I think the Red Wings at plus 2.5 are worth a look tonight against Colorado. I think Colorado wins, but that extra goal is big for me for a team that's still fighting.
Cam, I need you to pass a message to Pizzola if you talk to him.
What, Pizzola?
No,
Dave,
because
what do you want me to say?
No, just let him know.
Let
him know that I'm coming for him.
Okay.
There's a popularity gambling Twitter poll, March Madness poll.
Oh.
I got randomly generated as a 16 seed. I've upset the 1 seed. I've upset the 8 seed, and I've upset the 4 seed. And the next seed line is the 3 seed, Rob Pizzola.
Pizzola's a 3 seed?
Somehow Pizzola got a 3 seed. So I don't know how this was done.
Where are we in game? Are we in the NIT? That guy used to produce our show.
Listen, you guys, I know, but Pizzola made a 3 line. You guys didn't make it this time. I don't know what happened.
I'm running with the Trotters at Northfield in Ohio. It's at race 17. Take a look at Cam's horse. Broken hoof. Sorry, we'll run him again. Honest to God. This guy's a 3 seed? Oh, that's all I needed to know, Dave. He's done. The next time I do a show, Dave, I'm done with this guy. I got a show with Mayo next week for the Masters, and Pizzola's on it. 3 seed? I know. What's this? Spanky's a 4, and Pizzola's a 3, and you're a 16? Holy gee. It's time to re-bracket this tournament. I got problems with this tournament. Big problems.
Yeah, well, a lot of people did. So just let him know.
Well, I'll let him know, Dave.
For him. Yeah,
Let him
please,
know.
let
I
him
tell
know.
his mom I need a lasagna too. Actually, I should actually just knock randomly on his door. And I used to bet with his dad at the track. Actually, his dad got blessing. His dad got me into horse racing part two. Pizzola's dad, he's sharp as a tack. That guy, very good horse capper, very good. Yeah, that's where he gets
Thursday, NCAA basketball. All right, BYU, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas Tech, Maryland, Florida, Arizona, Duke. All right, which one of those four favorites, Alabama, Texas Tech, Florida, or Duke, has the best shot of being upset?
Okay, I'm gonna say
tough, isn't it? It's tough.
I'm gonna say Florida.
Wow.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Well, or Texas Tech, Arkansas. I go Arkansas.
Okay.
I think Arkansas can win. I think Maryland can win.
Okay.
I don't think Purdue can
Arizona's
beat
not beating
Houston.
Duke.
I don't think Duke could lose. I think Michigan can play with Auburn, and I think Kentucky can beat Tennessee. But I lean Tennessee. But I like Michigan State over Ole Miss. But you know what? I got a feeling the Crab 5 might get it done against Florida. I'm going to probably take the 6.5 with the Terps.
Wow.
I think Florida's vulnerable.
Survive is scared. That would be interesting. I would have put them there. I'll tell you that. Cam, top of the hour, what we gave.
Have a good one, guys. I don't know.
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave wrapping up shop again. Gabe and Cam, top of the hour for the next two here on the grid. You know, I got to go against the grain here because sometimes you just got to admit defeat. NIT action, we gave you the numbers beforehand, right? 24-8-1 over all these non-NCAA games. So far, 1-1 tonight. North Texas and Oklahoma State, though, Dave. You know, I told you North Texas was one of the few unders, right? Last night they went under. They're leading at the half 27-22. 49 points. They're giving you an over-under of 119.5, which sounds like nothing, right? And it is. But when you add it up, that's 70 points. I don't think these two teams are getting to 70, which is what you need to get to 120. In fact, 71. How's that going to get 71 points? Unless it's going to be fouling in the end. You know what? I'm going to put a little play on under 119.5.
Wow. I think you're right. I just turned the game on. There's little nobody there.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, what are we doing? Like, they're talking about expanding the NCAA tournament. We need more basketball. Yeah. Next week, I got you guys a seat with me if you guys want to come out for this Crown basketball tournament. I mean, talk to the wife. You know, Johnny Roast Beef gave you the show the love tweet at the beginning of the show. If you guys missed it, if you guys have that one, Vinny, pop that one back up there for the people, because that one, there it is right there. Feel the love right there for Scotty Wetzel. No, his wife did not hit him with the frying pan, Johnny Roast Beef. But if she did, you could come out to Vegas and go to the Crown basketball tournament next week. There's day basketball all day. We'll go to the games. We'll go to the tables at night. If you like to do that, we got nice meals planned. Whatever you want to do, come on out. You, Vinny, Matty G. If Matty G can get away, well, somebody's got to stay back and work. We'll probably nominate Matty G. He's been hot with the producer picks. Do we need to expand the college basketball tournament?
You know, I don't think so, right? Who really wants it to? But I told you, what the NCAA wants to do is eliminate all these other ones. They don't want these other tournaments going on. They want everyone focusing on the NCAA tournament. And how do you do that? You just take all the teams. You know, so let's add on more. You know,
just one tournament. That's it.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, it really is just like coaches don't mind because they get control of their players. Like if they, you know, for all these teams, the season would be over. Players would be gone. They're all getting into trouble. You know, now they can control the kids for another week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on how well they, you know, and that means a little something. But
well, I mean, while they're playing,
how are they making money? Is it TV? I don't even know. Is it the 4-letter network? They're televising these games. I mean, how much money can they be paid? That, you know, it's basketball. It's not football, so you're not traveling with as many people. But still, you got to be traveling. You know, 15, you know, kids, coaches. All the other people, you got to have a traveling party of at least 30 that you have to pay hotels, food.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money. I guess.
They do it. Like I said, they're coming here to Vegas next week. Good seats available for all the games. So I'm sure we'll talk about betting them and all this stuff. I just feel like there's basketball fatigue. But the one thing that you keep hearing as all this, you know, continues to happen, and I've been saying it for years, the one thing that people still watch live, the one thing is sports. Everything else is on a DVR. You don't watch anything like you used to. It was appointment viewing, like just us, for example, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. We need to be in front of the TV so we could watch Dave and Scott. Okay, like we used to be in front of the TV to watch Cheers or Seinfeld or whatever it was. Right. Now, everything's on record, and you just watch it at your convenience. So except sports. I don't like watching sports unrecorded. Do you?
No. Won't do it. I got to watch it live, you know. Even for the shows, like I know, you just when you know the outcome, it's like, You know what I'm watching? I'm watching I think it's on HBO, on the Boston Celtics dynasty.
How good is that?
It's pretty good. It's worth it.
Wow.
Being a Celtic fan, and I appreciate it maybe a little bit more, but it's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff and talking to all the players, and it's actually pretty good. They did a good job with that, so it's on HBO.
That's good to hear, because you don't like anything like that usually. That's good.
No, I like some of those things. I like looking back on such, you know, just not if the wife is in the room, then I otherwise. Let's go Colorado, Black Cloud. Let's go Avalanche.
Which is a great place to be.
Are you in the locker room? Like, you giving like the Any Given Sunday inches Al Pacino speech? Are we there yet?
Oh yeah, I think we've been there.